Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं कर्वावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कार्पण्यदोषोपहत स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेतः यश्रेयसान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्। ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य म आणिस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासिः अनेन अधीतेन अहोरात्रान् संददामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारम् अवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरे रङ्गे स्तुष्टुवाङ्मं सस्तुनिभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पति दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिव कीर्तिः पृष्ठ गिरेरिव ऊर्ध्व पवित्रो वाजिनीव सो अमृतमस्मि द्रविणगुं सवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति त्रिशङ्कुरवेदानुवचनम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Thank you for the seva, Anmol. Very, very, very well done. There are small things here and there, but I'm not going to, nitpick here right now. Just go back and listen to the recording again. There are very small, minor corrections that you will need to do, particularly in Karpanya Dosh, very small, Maheshwaraha, like that, small. Sorry, Maheshwaraha was in that second shloka. Small changes in Karpanya Dosh, small changes in Bhadram Karne bhi. So just listen to it, and I know that you'll be able to pick those things up and
Sure.
correct. Very minor, but very well done. Thank you. So okay, so we finished class. We've finished chapter 6, the first part in last class, and in basically chapter 6 we have learned about the benefits the need, the importance of meditation and the Dhyan Yoga, we also learned some precursors like Karma Yoga, right? We need these precursors before anything on, before we can do anything with the Dhyan Yoga. We also learned about certain ongoing behaviors and habits that can help us in improving the quality of our Dhyan Yoga. So some of those were, for example, moderation. Right? Moderation is an important habit and an attitude to develop that will aid us in our journey. And now that we are ready to practice meditation, right, thought that we will spend this class. We are not going to start chapter 7 today. We are going to spend this class discussing various systems of meditation so that we can start to actually, now that we've learned everything about it, now we should start to practice it. Okay. So in today's class, we will just touch upon various systems of meditation. And then I would request all of you to start spending a little bit of time during your day, figure it out. You'll figure it out with more and more practice, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Okay. So there are basically 6 systems of meditation at a very high level, and we're not going to go too deep into any of them. And when you perfect any one form of meditation, learning others becomes much easier. Okay. And why do we have these different systems of meditation? It's like a warrior. When you have a warrior, he learns to master 1 or 2 weapons, but then he also learns so many others, right? Because he will use them in different situations. Similarly, when we exercise, there is not just one type of exercise. There are so many different forms of exercise, and they help us in different ways. Some of them help us in endurance, others help us in strength, others help us in flexibility. So pull them all together for a holistic health. And similarly, we will have different forms of meditation that will help us deal with different situations of life, and they will cultivate or help us in developing and taming our mind that much better. Okay. So before we start off, I will give you a story of Buddha, which will show how different forms of meditation were beautifully brought together for him to be able to face a certain situation. So this is the time when Buddha was traveling nationwide to spread his message of peace and compassion. But not everybody was happy with his travels or with his message, because he did not propagate idol worship. So when he visited a certain village, the villagers were very unhappy about it because they thought that he's going to pollute everybody's mind and that he's an atheist. So they went to confront him. So Buddha was, as always, seated under a tree, and he was meditating. The villagers came and they started hurling abuses at him. They started saying very rude words to him and told him to simply leave. And they kept on going at it. So what did Buddha do in this kind of an incident? He basically just sat, and he did not react at all. That elusive smile that he always has on his face, that continued to be there. And that impenetrable mask of serenity, of calmness, of compassion, it was completely uncracked. So after a while, the villagers got tired of saying whatever they had to, and they stormed off. And Buddha went back into his yogic posture and he started meditating again. So he was calm, but his disciples were very rattled and they were very upset. So one of his close disciples, Shariputra, went to him and said, "Oh, Holiness, did that not upset you? Did that not make you angry? Why did you not respond to these people? Why were you so quiet?" And Buddha replied to him, "Shariputra, if someone gives you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" Shariputra thought about it and said, "His Holiness, it would belong to the person who brought the gift in the first place." So Buddha said, "So I did not accept the verbal gifts of the villagers. And how can I react to something when I have not even accepted it? It has not caused any provocation because it is not with me, it is with them." Right? So in this story, you can beautifully see how he has brought 3 different forms of meditation together. First, with his practice of concentrative meditation over long periods of time, he was able to keep his mind focused on whatever he was doing in the midst of that provocation. He did not, his concentration from his point of focus never wavered. Secondly, with his with this contemplative meditative practice, he was able to discern that the words of these villagers mean nothing. They are absolutely empty, and hence there is no need for him to attach himself to them. And finally, because of his practice of mindful meditation, he was able to choose the response he wants in that situation and did not do any action that he might regret later on. Okay, so he used 3 different practices to be able to face that situation and do an action that he thought was the best way to face the situation. Okay, now so now that we're going to learn about these 6 different forms of meditation, it's important to note that you should ideally not just practice one, you should alternate between various forms, because it really strengthens and it trains your mind in very effective ways. Okay, so let's start with the first one. So the first form of meditation is concentrative meditation. Okay, so concentrative meditation is, of all the 6 types, it actually is the hardest of them all. It specifically works on breaking the hardened tendencies of the mind. Okay, and if there's one thing that mind does not like at all, it is being tamed. So it wants to be free, it wants to be dictatorial, and concentrative meditation, what it does is it turns the mind into like a genie, which then serves the meditator. Instead of being dictatorial and deciding what you are going to do, you get to decide what the mind should do for you. And mind is an extremely powerful tool at our disposal. We just haven't learned to use it in the most effective manner. So concentrative meditation will help you do that. And one of the greatest rewards of concentrative meditation is that it brings irreversible transformation in you. Okay, your habits, your thoughts, your emotions, they will no longer provoke you. They will change, and you are going to be able to really control your responses. They will not, things outside of you will not trigger you, and you will not get thrown off balance. Okay, so that is one of the biggest rewards of concentrative meditation. Now, in concentrative meditation, essentially what you do is you focus your mind on a chosen object of meditation. Okay, and there are different forms of objects that you can choose for this. One is, and we'll talk about it, right? So there's a form you can think about on a sound, you can do breath, you can do void, right? Like completely void. And while the other 5, so I said there are 6, right? So the other 5 that we will talk about later, they are very lenient in terms of the posture that you hold, but concentrative meditation is extremely strict about the body posture. Why is that so? Because if your body posture is not correct, then at all points of time, you are going to have body consciousness. How now the body is feeling this way, it's feeling pain, it's there is something else happening, there's certain heaviness, and that body consciousness is going to be your biggest barrier in maintaining concentration. You have to be able to rise above this body consciousness for you to experience oneness. That's why perfect stillness of body is absolutely essential. Like it is a given. If you can't achieve that perfect stillness of your body, and the moment you start thinking about perfect stillness of body, now you will see that exercise, having a healthy body is important. Eating right is important. Otherwise, your stomach is growling, something else is happening, there's pain, you have a headache, all of those things will happen, right? So eating right and taking care of your body becomes a great asset in concentrative meditation. If you've not achieved that stillness, and which you will as you practice, but if you don't, then any experience that you have during concentrative meditation, make no mistake, it is just an intellectual fallacy. You've just created it in your mind. And if you've created something in your mind, it is not real. It will create no changes. it will not be replicable. Every time it is going to be something different because you're replicating it in your mind. It is not real. Okay. And these type of experiences will not cleanse you. They will not purify you. They will not guide you. They will not strengthen you. Okay. So, and unfortunately, that's the harsh truth. Okay. So what happens is that when there is an intense practice of concentrative meditation, it calms the 10 vital energies inside your body. And that helps you in gaining complete control over your body to be able to sit absolutely still like a rock in complete ease. Okay. So how do you do it? How do you do this concentrative meditation, right? The important thing is that you have to sit in a comfortable posture. That's your first step. Preferably cross-legged. If you can't sit cross-legged, then sit on a chair or something. But it has to be, your back has to be absolutely straight. Your neck has to be absolutely straight. Your neck will be slightly, very slightly bent. Okay, so it can't be like absolutely like this, slightly bent in the natural curves that is there in the spine there. You abandon all body movements, and over a period of time, you will practice that, you know, when you feel an itch, you feel sweat, you feel pain, slowly, as you increase your practice of meditation, you will learn to ignore these bodily sensations, and you will continue to keep focusing on whatever you have chosen to focus on. Okay. It only happens with practice, right? And then you decide what is going to be your focus object, and then you start focusing on it. Basically, that's all that is there to concentrative meditation. Now, so you have to follow the 8 elements of yogic posture and the 6 principles of meditation that we've talked about before in a previous class. And okay, so now when you start focusing on your object, your mind is going to go back and forth, right? It's going to go north, south, east, west. It is going to, but you have to constantly keep bringing it back, keep bringing it back, keep bringing it back, okay? There are going to be thoughts, there are going to be images, there are going to be emotions that are going to rise up inside of you. You just have to ignore them, let them be. Do not analyze any of those things. Do not ask yourself, why am I feeling this? What does it mean? Do not follow those things at all. Okay, just let them pass. Keep coming back to your object of concentration. Thoughts are like, okay, you can probably ignore emotions, you can ignore images that come in, but the thoughts, right, they have a tendency to pull us in. So you have to remember that thoughts are completely barren. Whatever thoughts come inside of you, we've discussed before, right? 60,000 thoughts come in an adult's head, even if you're not aware of them. You start to become aware of those thoughts when you start to meditate, right? Now, these thoughts are completely devoid of any essence, and they gain whatever importance they gain because of the energy we give them. If we don't give them energy, they are barren. Okay. So our goal here in concentrative meditation is to build a non-discriminatory, completely unblemished, pure, sharp, and lucid concentration. Okay. So if you meditate this correctly, your cravings for sensory pleasures will slowly start to dissipate by itself. बोलते हैं ना कि चीजें छोड़नी नहीं पड़ेंगी, छूट जाएंगी without any pain of leaving. Concentrative meditation helps us in achieving that. If you find yourself slouching or leaning in any of the 4 directions, right? Bring your posture back to the center. Okay. And don't forget to maintain a gentle smile on your face when you're meditating. Now, I've already said this before, but I'm going to say that again because it is so important. Do not get into the temptation of any analysis. Okay, it's one of the biggest things that is going to throw you off your concentrative meditation. Okay. So just to give you an example of what that could potentially mean is, for example, you are, suppose you decide to focus or concentrate on an idol, okay, idol in front of you. So you decide it's Krishna's idol. Okay. Now so you start focusing on that. It's very easy for you to get into a space of trying to analyze the color. Is it nice? Is it not nice? Could this color have been better? The color seems to have faded a little bit. And you start to analyze the characteristics of that idol. Okay. And before you know, you've slipped into an analysis mode already and you've lost the concentration there. Okay. So, an untamed mind, actually, you will realize, is not able to hold on to a focus, is not able to focus on any one thought for more than a few seconds, literally, not even a few seconds. Which is why when we do this meditation, it is going to be better for you to not do, don't start off with like a 30 or 45 minutes meditation. It will be a complete waste of time. Okay. Start with smaller chunks and do them more often. 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, eventually going to 15 minutes. The goal is to do lucid, focused concentration exercise, whether it's for 5 minutes or 7 minutes. As you practice, those moments are going to increase. That is more important than sitting in one sitting for 45 minutes at once and wasting that time. Okay. And just to set expectations, there is no joy at all in concentrative meditation. So don't expect, like, it is the toughest of all meditations, right? So there is no joy in there. But once you actually practice and you start to experience a quiet mind that comes off it, you will actually get addicted to it. But initially it is hard work. So be prepared for that hard work. Now, there are 4 types of objects that you can focus on. The first type of object is form. The form is one of the most commonly used objects to be used in this form of meditation, but it is also the most misunderstood. Why misunderstood? Misunderstood because when people think of focusing or concentrating on a form, they think you place something in front of you. Now, this could be anything, right? It could be a picture, it could be an idol in front of you, it could be a pebble, whatever, right? You put that thing in front of you, and you don't, it is not about externally gazing at it. You don't just sit there, gaze at it, and then you're focusing, right? That's neither meditation nor concentration. So this form of meditation basically means that you have to sit down, okay, sit in a comfortable position, put that object in front of you, observe it for a few minutes, okay, couple of minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, observe it in great detail, the facts, what it looks like. For example, you're focusing on a pebble, the shape, the texture, the design, any grooves on it, observe that, okay? Don't analyze it, just observe, and then close your eye, and the visualization has to be internal. So when you focus on a form, you basically see it, close your eyes, and you bring out that form in your inner eye. Watch it in your inner eye. Okay. And you will realize that after a few seconds, that image starts to fade. Again, bring it back lucidly. Keep bringing it back as it starts to fade, as you start to not see the details of that image. And when it has completely faded away and you figure out that, I'm just not able to bring it to a level of detail, open your eyes again, focus on that form again for a minute or two, close your eyes again, and then again start, meditating. So actually meditating on form is one of the more difficult things to do. It's one of the most difficult forms of meditation. Not, I wouldn't say the most difficult is the void meditation. But end of the day, this is all about internal visualization. Okay. So this is something for you to remember. The second object of meditation is going to be breath. This is actually the easiest form of concentrative meditation. It has a great calming effect on the mind. Okay. So when you do this, again, sit down in a yogic posture and close your eyes, do some deep breathing for a few seconds, deep breathing. And after that, stop deep breathing, just breathe normally and start focusing on your breath. What does focus on breath mean? Just observe your inhalation, observe the exhalation. Do not hold the breath after you inhale unnaturally. Do not hold the breath outwards also when after you exhale. Just let it be natural. You will observe that there are certain pauses after inhalation and exhalation. That's part of your focus. You see how you inhale, how you exhale, which nostril you're inhaling and exhaling from. But do not change the way you naturally breathe. It's just supposed you just don't do any pranayam in this of any kind. No yogic breathing practices. It's just normal breathing that you need to observe. Slowly, slowly, you will observe that when you get into breath-based concentrated meditation, the length of breath increases naturally without any exertion. You will just notice it, that it's become longer. Both inhalation and exhalation will become longer, which allows you to retain more and more vital pran inside of you when you breathe. Okay, but it is not to be forced. It is a natural outcome of you focusing on your breath. Okay. It is one of the best types of meditation to do when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling fear. Okay. It has an impact of calming your mind down. Now, breath has a very, very special place in yoga. So Patanjali says that breath is a thread that binds the body to the soul. When you focus on this thread starts to unravel and it helps you bring body and soul apart. The meaning of this you will only start to understand when you do the practice. There are certain things that can just never be taught. You have to experience them. This is one of those experiential things. So it's just a side note, right? Side note is that if you're not able to fall asleep at night, this is the best thing to do. So lie down in your bed in the most comfortable posture, whatever is your favorite posture to sleep in, and close your eyes, become perfectly still, and start focusing on your breath. It will calm you down over a period of time and will help you fall asleep. So this is something that I do. This is the concentrative meditation that I follow, and I do this a lot at night when I'm not able to fall asleep. This is one thing that makes me fall asleep. I sometimes do a little bit of chanting before I start to observe my breath, and chanting helps me calm down, and then take it forward a notch with this. It really calms me down and I fall asleep very, very quickly. The second form, so we've done the third form, right? So we've done form, concentrated meditation on form, then breath. The third one is sound. Okay, so when you focus on sound, concentrate on sound, that sound can be anything. It can be music, a piece of music. It can be a mantra. It can be, and that sound or music or whatever, it could be vocal or it could be instrumental. The only important thing to note here is that it must be repetitive. It cannot be a free flowing music. You're not just listening to a song, right? A small, short sound, which is repetitive. Why is that important? Because we are training our mind to stay focused on one particular thing for longer periods of time. Okay. So again, like meditating on form, meditating on sound is not about listening to a sound. So you can't just keep playing something and keep listening to it and think that you are meditating. It is not chanting either. You don't chant a mantra, for example, and think that you're meditating. Chanting and meditating are two completely different things. Okay. So, so what's the difference in chanting and meditating, right? The small but a very significant difference is this. When you're chanting, whether you're chanting aloud, whether you're whispering, or whether you're chanting in your mind, end of the day, it is still an act of speaking. It's an act of speaking, which means that your auditory, the entire auditory equipment is working. And that auditory equipment is a big hindrance in your meditation. Okay. So, okay. So what does meditating on sound then really means? Okay. What it means is that you sit down in your yogic posture. If you're chanting a mantra, if you're focusing on mantra, then chant the mantra for a few minutes or listen to your sound that you want to focus on for a few minutes. And after that, start to recall. Recall it in the mind's eye. Recalling a sound necessarily involves a certain amount of internal visualization. Just like form, this is about visualization. Okay. Now, when you are chanting this in your mind, right? Or when you're visualizing this in your mind, not chanting, you're meditating on this in your mind, you can meditate, you can change the tempo a little bit, right? So, for example, you were focusing on Om Namah Shivaya, right? You can do, if you start to feel torpor, right? You can increase the speed at which you're visualizing. Om Namah Shivaya. But if you're feeling anxious, slow it down. Shiva. You can keep reducing the speed or increasing the speed even when you're meditating to keep your concentration lucid. So you don't lose it and you don't like end up sleeping or something. Okay. So this is what is focusing on sound. Internal visualization. Both form and sound require visualization, not seeing or listening to things. Okay. Then the final one is meditating on the formless, meditating on basically nothing at all in the void. So at the outset, it's pretty easy because all you do is literally just sit down in your yogic posture, do some deep breathing to calm yourself down, sit down, and then just sit there, thoughtless. You just don't focus on anything. Okay, you don't observe your thoughts here. Observation of thoughts, as thoughts come in and they go, and you just keep watching them, that is not meditating on formless. That's a different form of meditation. Being thoughtless means literally being thoughtless. Okay, just sit there and don't think anything. Okay. Now, so what does this really mean? Okay, it's very difficult to do. It's very, very difficult to do. You need guidance in this. You need a master to guide you, because there are things that they will be able to tell you that just can't be explained unless somebody has actually experienced it. Okay. This form of meditation basically involves the mind looking directly at itself. Okay. So I can't even get to describe what it is because I don't know what it means, honestly. Right? I focus on breath myself. So I won't venture too deep into it. It's just not something that I can add value on besides what I am telling you. You just need a master to help you champion this form of meditation. Okay. So we've covered the first form of meditation, which is concentrative meditation. Then the second form of concentration is contemplative meditation. Now, contemplative meditation basically involves, now in the first form of meditation, you are holding on to certain type of thought, right? Here, you're going to focus on, it's basically, the crux is self-inquiry. The crux of contemplative meditation is self-inquiry, okay? And very important thing about this is you become what you contemplate on. Now, this is something that the seers realized thousands of years ago, which is why, and this is the reason, this is the seed behind some of these, thoughts about like visualize, think only positive thoughts, don't think of negative thoughts, or visualize your being into creation. All of those books that have talked about visualization that leads you to change your life, basically the seed behind this is contemplative meditation. They just don't go deep enough for you to always be able to practice it completely. Okay, now you understand what is the basis here. Now, and this is also one of the reasons why we say, right, with children, when we say, tell them what to do, don't tell them what not to do. Vedant, don't come into the room where we are teaching Gita class. Absolute no. He will come here only because that's what the mind will focus on. Tell him what to do instead. Sit in your room and play with your toys. Read your books. Okay? Because mind does not know good, bad. It does not understand not. So when you want to avoid something, just don't think about it. Thinking about all bad outcomes in life means that that's what you're going to manifest, because that's all that your mind is thinking and contemplating upon. you will become whatever you contemplate on. If you contemplate on compassion, you will embody compassion. If you contemplate on fears, you will manifest those fears in your life. Okay. So now the good thing about contemplative meditation is that it does not require you to go through the rigors of your maintaining a certain posture. Okay, that's a good thing. And the other thing that you, like I said before, that you must remember is that at the root, mind is constantly creating, understanding, and reacting to thoughts. Okay, so contemplative meditation leads you to remarkable insights into the true nature of things, and that's the use that we will put it to. Okay, using this contemplative meditation to contemplate a certain materialistic outcome in your life is a pretty petty goal. You can do it. Once you understand how to do it correctly, you can do it, and you should do it with the right purpose. Okay, but the true use of contemplative meditation is to get an insight into who you really are, and that is going to cause that what we've read about, dissociation with association of affliction. This meditation is going to create that for you. Okay, so and it will help you rise above all the labels and the conditioning that this world has created for you so far. Okay, now there are two types of self-inquiry. Okay, there is an eliminative self-inquiry, and then there is a affirmative inquiry. In the eliminative self-inquiry, basically you're going to eliminate who you are not. So sit down in a comfortable position and start asking yourself, think about all the things that you're attached to. Okay, start thinking about all of them and start to see that you are not them. Ask yourself, you can do it in any manner. You can either do it like, for example, you're attached to certain roles, right? I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a manager, I'm a CEO, I'm, you know, whatever. So it could be roles, or could be I'm good, I'm healthy, I exercise, I'm an athlete, I'm a swimmer, I'm an artist, I'm a dancer, I'm a singer, any of those things, right? I read Gita. Any of those labels that we have attached to ourselves or the society has attached to ourselves, start to think about those things and start to say that I am not this, I am beyond this, I am beyond all of these. Use that self-inquiry to start to eliminate each of those ideas. And what remains after you eliminate everything is your truest nature. Because everything that we have taken out so far is all temporary. Once you take out all that is temporary, you're left with the permanent. You've taken out everything that is unreal, you're left with all that is real, right? So this method in scriptures is called neti. Scriptures call it neti. Neti as in, you're not this, you're not this, you're not this. So basically that really is the crux of it, right? Sadhguru does one form of eliminative meditation in what he calls Isha Kriya. So in Isha Kriya, you basically sit down and then you just focus on one prompt. I am not the body, I am not the mind. Okay, there are lots of different prompts that have been given. Okay, so some of these prompts are, for example, let me just give you some of the prompts, right? I am not the body, I'm not the mind is one such prompt. The other one can be, I'm not the senses. Like, you know, so you can go to any length that you want. You can either focus on just one prompt, or you can focus on multiple prompts over a period of time, right? So I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the senses. These are my servitors, they serve me. I am eternal and I'm beyond these. I'm not a man, I'm not a woman, I'm not young, I'm not old, I'm not beautiful, I'm not ugly, I'm not a friend, I'm not an enemy, I'm not a father or son or mother or daughter, I'm not a husband or a wife. These are mere classifications. I am beyond these and I'm eternal. I'm not pure, I'm not impure, I'm not good or bad. I'm not realized or unrealized. I'm not hot or cold. I'm not moral or immoral. These are mere dualities. I am eternal and beyond these. I'm not bound or free. I'm not hated or loved. I'm not happy or unhappy. I'm not foolish or intelligent, right? These are just perspectives. So you can keep using these type of prompts, right? So this is the eliminative meditation. And in eliminative meditation, if you keep doing this for a while, you will start to see that after a while, you will stop feeling bad about whatever people think or say of you. And you will no longer crave for things that the rest of the world is going crazy about. You will be able to see that some of the things that people hurl at you, how empty they really are. Okay, so your control, your responses become so much more controlled when you do this type of meditation. And you will find that you are, you become closer to knowing that you are the entire universe yourself, that you are indestructible, you're whole and complete wherever you are in your life. And actually, one of the most powerful moments for anyone can ever be is when we wake up to our own immensity. When we realize how immense our potential is and how small we had been thinking before this. Right? So contemplative meditation will help us get there. Then after you have done elimination, then you get into affirmation of who you really, really are. Okay. So you basically negated everything that you're not. Now you will reaffirm and you will reinforce what you really are and what your true identity is. So some of the prompts can be, I am that. I am Brahman. I am the source. I am of all the worlds. I am He. I am Siddh. I am the pure. I am the supreme. I am. I always am. I am the eternal. I am the sinless. I am the stainless. I am Vigyan. I am Gyan. I am excellent. I am the all. I am beyond honor or dishonor. I am neither existence nor non-existence. I am not good and I am not bad. I am consciousness. I am awake. I am equal, right? So you can use some of these different types of forms for this. There are lots and lots of such prompts that have been given out in Vedic scriptures. Okay. Then the third form of meditation is mindful meditation. Okay. Now, mindful meditation is not something that you necessarily need to do when you're sitting in a place. It can be done that way. So I'll tell you both forms, when you sit in one place versus when you are, just doing it on a daily basis, whatever you may be doing. Okay. So mindful meditation is basically about living in mindful awareness in the present moment. Okay. And that's the only time when you're really dwelling in this body and this mind. That's the only time. It is a very simple and a very effective means of coming back into the present. So now the fundamental issue with our minds is that we are constantly either living in the past or in the future, constantly, right? We're really never here. And this moment, it is called a present because this is the only moment where we can actually do anything about life. This is the only moment we live. You cannot live in the past. You cannot live in the future. You can only live here and now. You can only effect change in here and now. You can only experience life here and now. And that's like the appointment with life we keep missing when we are in the past or future. Mindfulness will help us. Mindful meditation helps us come back here constantly. Okay. So, and the present moment, as we understand, is the only moment of truth. This is the only moment of truth. How you are now is how your life is. If you're happy now, you're leading a happy life. If you're sad now, you're living a sad life. This is the moment of truth. Are you stressed now? Are you happy now? Are you joyful now? Right? Now you want to practice mindfulness in every act of your being, and not just for like small periods of time. Okay. So basically it is about paying attention to every single action. And when you start paying attention to every single action, you will become mindful. How do you do that, right? Basically, it's about the crux is the question, what am I doing now? Just keep asking yourself every, like, set alarms, do whatever. Initially, when you start doing this, you will probably ask yourself once or twice in a day, instead of 300 times that you should be asking that. Okay. So you start with that, create systems around yourself to become more and more mindful. Put an alarm every hour to remind yourself, and then ask yourself, what am I doing right now? I am writing emails. I am reading. I am talking to somebody. I'm having coffee. I'm having my lunch. I am in a meeting. I am thinking of a problem, right? So that is actually what is mindfulness, when you're living it on a day-to-day basis. If you are doing mindful meditation by sitting in a place, the question changes. Instead of the question, what am I doing now? The question changes to, what thoughts are coming to me now? Okay. Now, this is a proven way to break age-old habits. Okay. And it brings a level of awareness that makes you a very calm and centered person. It brings you in touch with your present. Okay. And it will just take you a few weeks of this practice when you will start to realize how sharp and alert you have become. To the extent, for example, there are so many things that we do unconsciously. You will become aware of them, a lot more aware of them. For example, you walk inside the house. Where do you leave your shoes? Where did you leave your umbrella? You walk up steps. How many steps did you walk up? These are things that we don't even think about. You will become that much aware of it. And that's called living mindfully. If there's nothing else that you're doing, then you can just start to observe things more closely, and observe, not analyze, right? Observe, not analyze. So I think that's where, because it's 11:20 already. So I'm going to move on. The fourth form of 1, 2, 3, 4. So another form of meditation I've forgotten. Probably this is fifth now. Observant meditation. Okay. Observant meditation is about watching your thoughts in a very dispassionate manner, and it is particularly useful to pacify your mind. All other meditations that we've been talking about so far, right? They need to be done in a space of peace. If you're passionate, if you're angry, if you're upset, or if you're feeling any kind of strong emotion, it is very difficult to sit down and do contemplative meditation or be able to do concentrative meditation. It's impossible, right? You can't concentrate, you can't focus, you can't really ask any deep questions for yourself. There's no self-inquiry. So that's the time to do observant meditation. Just sit down quietly and observe your thoughts. What thoughts are coming to you? And watch it like you were sitting in a balcony. You're a third person. Watch yourself and your thoughts as a third person. That is the crux of observant meditation. Okay. And this is also called a witness meditation, because all you're doing is acting as a witness to yourself. I think I'm not going to spend too much thought in it. But what is important here, how does it help you calm down, is when you observe this as a third person, right? It allows you to really see how barren or empty those thoughts really are. It's like, when you're sitting in a Ferris wheel, every time you go up, there's a sense of exhilaration. You come down, it creates a lot of emotion in you, that it tickles up your tummy, and then you go like in. You are feeling those emotions when you're on that Ferris wheel. But the moment you step outside that Ferris wheel and you stand there observing other people go around in that, and you see them scream, shout, and have all those emotions, you can just stand there and you can just see how ridiculous that whole thing is. All they are doing is going around in circles, right? But you don't feel any of that, because now you're outside of that Ferris wheel. You cannot sit inside that Ferris wheel and think that you can be that dispassionate person sitting like, oh, we're just going around. No, you will actually feel all of those things. It's very real. So you have to act as a witness, a third person, stand outside that Ferris wheel and watch what's going on as a story, as a movie, something that's happening to somebody else. Okay, that's the crux of observant meditation. The last form of meditation is spirited meditation. Okay, we've got 10 minutes, so I think I should be able to close it in that. Spirited meditation, unlike all other forms of meditation, this involves a lot of physical activity. Now, why is physical activity really important? Why is exercise so important to our lives? Thousands of years ago, our life was very physical. The very act of living was extremely, backbreaking task. It was physically intensive. Just the act of gathering food, getting food, cooking food, getting water, just the very basic acts of living were physically very, very intensive. Okay, that's how we are built. Now, today, the life has completely changed, right? We do not have any physical effort required to get food. You just go to a restaurant and you eat, or we have helpers at home who will cook food, or you just turn on the knob. Even if you're cooking, it's not that difficult. Just turn on the knob and you have light, right? It's not about gathering firewood and lighting things up. So what happens is that we end up we are living in a mentally intensive society now. But that mentally intensive society does not take away the physical store of energy that we have. What happens then is that when we are not using this physical energy, it causes agitation. It causes restlessness. And we don't recognize that restlessness that's coming in simply because the physical energy has not been utilized correctly. And so we end up channelizing that restlessness or agitation, or it causes upset and anger. We get upset, anger, we very, very easily, right? These days, especially when we are sitting on social media, so easy to get outraged at stuff. All of this is a result of our physical energies not being utilized correctly, not being channelized correctly. And so, so spirited meditation is, so either you exercise, right? Exercise is important because it channelizes all of this excess of physical energy inside of you. If you exercise every day, you let go of this physical energy, it will leave you calmer. It will leave you more able to deal with various things of life. That's why exercise is considered extremely good for a healthy life, to utilize this excess energy. Now, spirited meditation is a form of meditation where you're trying to say, hey, can I actually use this excess of energy inside of me and also bring in all the elements of a good meditation? Can I put them together? Okay. So now spirited meditation is not going to be like exercise. Why it is not like exercise is because in exercise, you're focusing on too many other things, right? You're focusing, sometimes you can get competitive. It is definitely not about sports. It's not sports because sports is competition, which creates its own sets of emotions. It is not exercise because you're focusing on breath, you're focusing on your muscles, you're focusing on what you have to do, all of those things, right? This is not that either. I think if anything, any activity or physical activity that comes closest to spirited meditation, it would be dance. But again, it is not the same because in dance, you tend to be focusing on rhythm, you're focusing on music, you're focusing on flowing as per the rhythm. So it is not exactly spirited meditation, but it comes close. Okay. So how do you do this spirited meditation? Basically, spirited meditation does involve dance, right? So it involves music. Or music has been an integral form of literally all religions in this world because it helps us transcend. So what you do here is you basically need three different pieces of music, and you can select those music as per your choice, right? First part of music is a soft, slow tempo music. The second part of music is whatever you want, a very spirited, high energy music. And then the third form of music is again going to be a slow tempo music. The first and the third music, even though they are slow tempo music, they must be different from each other. Okay. Now, how you go about doing it, once you put your playlist together, you start with the first piece of music and you just let yourself sway. Okay. In this first phase, you watch your breath, observe the emotions, observe the thoughts that are coming to you, and just stay with them, right? Stay with your thoughts, stay with your emotions, stay with your breath, and just sway to the music. In the second tempo of the music, when the fast music starts, dance wildly. Just release all the emotions that are coming to you. Okay, release them out, emotions, thoughts, whatever it is inside of you, the physical energy, you release it. Dance hard. And then the third form, when the third part starts, you now let go of everything you have released, thoughts, emotions, energy, just let it go. um, Surrender, forgive. Okay, that is why because the first and third are different stages, you should have different musics, because we do not want to confuse our mind about what we are doing here. Okay, and the fourth part of this, the fourth stage, is you just lie in a shavasana, lie on the floor and let yourself be completely still. Okay, so you can do this meditation whenever you want to, whenever you feel restless, whenever you feel a whole bunch of like restlessness, any kind of agitation, you're not able to step out for an exercise, you want to meditate. This is a great form of meditation at that time, and it's one of the best forms of meditation for younger adults, younger children. Okay, it's very easy for them to follow this up. So that's it. These are the 6 forms of meditation, the systems of meditation. I hope I've been able to give you an overview of this. So please use them as you deem fit, and and use them in your daily life in small portions. Um, contemplative, observant, mindfulness, and then your spirited meditation. So I'll stop here. If you have any questions, happy to take those. It's been a complete monologue for an hour.
This is very good. The breakup of methods. There are various namings across various type of teaching, right? Art of Living is teaching different way, and Isha Kriya is doing different way, all that kind of thing. But this gives like a holistic perspective on how it is being derived from the overall method that has been defined by Bhagavad Gita. Thanks for this.
Yep. So like Isha Kriya is a form of contemplative meditation, or what we see with, these dervishes, the dancing dervishes, that's a form of spirited meditation. So pretty much all of them fall in one or the other such category. And you can choose whatever connects with you, like go out there, search, practice. The only way you will learn what works for you is by doing certain things. I keep experimenting myself. So I do Isha Kriya a lot. I also do focus on breath myself, because that really connects with me. I find it very easy to do focus on breath. So just see, there are like, Vijay said, there's so many really well accomplished and realized saints who have created guided meditations of various kinds. Do them for a few times and then see what connects with you and what helps you. But make meditation a part of your daily life. We've learned what the benefits are.
So Tuvina, I found an app very recently, which is the Black Lotus app, which I don't know whether you have heard of. It's Om Swami's creation, and I bumped into him in the airport, and he was all around me, and I could. So I just wanted to share this story because we are here. So I was in Rishikesh, and I saw so many ashrams, and I know, like, you already label yourself, you're doing Gita and all, and then I couldn't connect, and like for me, Shirdi Sai Baba is my Sadguru, and I'm just taking a bit of time just to say how something appears. And throughout the Rishikesh journey, I've been thinking that why am I not connecting to someone to give me a bit of, Guru Gyan, or, from the scriptures. And then we were sitting in the Delhi airport lounge, and in walks this tall person in a black garb, and he wears this black and the ochre color sometimes, and I was the only one. The lounge was crowded that day because people have started traveling, and I was the only one. I saw Om Swamiji. I saw him go. He obviously has a more special private place. And then when he was coming out, that is when I realized that he's boarding the flight to Singapore. He was in front of me in the gate when we were taking the baggage out. When I came out of the aero bridge, so I think after him, we were the first people to come out, and he was sitting there because his two aides were still maybe behind. And then till the luggage. And then, I connected with someone suddenly who told me about him and about this Black Lotus app. And it's such a beautiful meditation app. So when you were speaking today, I could really connect. I mean, it's like, especially that you build up from that 5 minutes, 8 minutes, and then you are gifted. There are wisdoms in that. And finally, when you do 97,000 minutes of reflection, will you reach that final point, which is the Guru's point, where the lotus is sitting. And it is a really beautiful experience. So I just wanted to share that it really comes to you in so many different ways. We just don't know when it's going to come to you. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Om Swami is is one of the gurus that we have a lot of reference for. In fact, our teacher, our facilitator Kumar, he actually visited his ashram, Om Swami's ashram, and it was through Kumar that we came to know about Om Swami, and since then have read several books. A lot of the stuff that I've been telling you about meditation is actually from his book. The book is called A Million Thoughts. So you should read that book. Everything that I have talked about is from that book about systems of meditation. It's a very good book for helping you, guide you through meditation. It's been my source as well. Like I've used it in my journey a lot.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I think that's an appropriate response. Quietness, stillness, Vani ka tap after a session on systems of meditation. Nice. Okay. We have Kavita here. I haven't prepared her for it at all. I don't know if she can take us through a round of meditation right now. I don't know if she's there right now listening in. Okay. It's 11:30. What we can do right now is 10:30, 11:30, 12. We have time till 12, right? We have a 1.5 hour class. Yeah. Okay. So what we can do now is we can start chapter 7, or if you want, we can close the session here to like just stay with the concept of meditation rather than start a completely new concept. We are going to start the new Shatak. The new Shatak is about Bhakti Yoga. It's going to be another very important one, and we'll talk a lot more about that, right? So it's a completely new start to a new sextet. So we can start it right now, or if you prefer, I would, whatever you guys are happy with. Should we start with chapter 7 now? Would you rather stay with what we have discussed today and start it in the next class?
I think, can you guys hear me? I think this, for me, this has been a really powerful session. So thank you for leading it. I would like to stay with it, to be honest. But I do want to add one observation that chapter 6, which is the end of Karma Yoga, which leads to the next section, which is Bhakti Yoga. It is beautiful that it focuses purely on meditation. And this extra session which you've done, which is even more focused around meditation, it segues very beautifully, because the next part is all about seeing the oneness. It's all about the bhakti. It's all about the mano fir jano. It's all about doing action, knowing that there is Bhagwanji, there is oneness around us. And it's about discovering it. It's about engaging with it. It's about praying to it. It's about, I really like what you shared about the spirited meditation and the song, because yeah, that's a very powerful, is actually a very powerful way to connect across all religions, right? So it's all about building that reverence towards it. And that experience of bhakti only gets strengthened if we do meditation, or when we do meditation. It becomes, like you said, it's that rope, that thread that gets unraveled. And I thought that was a really powerful glue between the two sections as we um, move towards the bhakti yoga.
Yeah, I think what's also very important to remember is that meditation is not a substitute for karma yoga. They both have to go hand in hand and they help each other. Meditation is not a substitute for karma yoga. You have to do action. Meditation will help you become a better karma yogi. Similarly, mental activity is not a substitute for physical activity. That is why physical exercise is absolutely important for our physical well-being. Absolutely non-negotiable. It is important for our entire well-being, and you should include all components. We do all kinds of mental activities. Please include some amount of strenuous physical activity in your life, and you will see multifold benefits of it in your life. Similarly, act and meditate. Running away into meditation to avoid action that is required is not a great thing. So you'll find at what points of time through practice what works for you, what system works for you, what time works for you, what form of, eventually you will do all forms of meditation at different times, but like how do you want to do it is just something that you will learn. I don't know, did I share the story in the last class about this Harvard teacher and the photography class? Yeah. Should I share that again? So there was this teacher in Harvard. He did an experiment, and in that he basically was running a photography class, and he told so he was doing like a lot of stuff, but in one of the semesters, one of the things they were doing was photography. So in photography, he basically divided the entire class up into two different parts. And in one group, he said, you will be graded solely on the number of pictures. Don't care quality of pictures. Don't care what you click. Don't care how you click. Number of pictures is what I will grade you on. So the more the number, the better the grade. The second group, he said, I will focus you. I will grade you solely on the quality of pictures. Whether you click one picture, whether you click 100 pictures, don't care. I want to grade you only on quality of pictures. So at the end of the semester, people both the groups produce their stuff. And what was very interesting to note was the group that clicked maniacally clicked like so many pictures were also the group that created the best quality of pictures. Whereas the ones that focused on planning, learning, theory, all of that stuff up, and took very few pictures because they spent too much time on the table, not enough outside actually clicking pictures, the quality of pictures was abysmal compared to the ones. Because the more you do, the more you learn. There is no substitute for that karma. Nothing, no amount of preparation, analysis, learning, theory, reading, listening, none of that can prepare us for the actual work. I mean, they can prepare us, but that cannot substitute the actual work. And the actual work has its own rewards of learning. It's just not available from anywhere else. So whether it's meditation, whether it's Gita principles, whatever it is, we have to practice. We have to do Nidhi Dhyasan. We have to do Manan. We have to practice. We have to put things into practice and fail again and again and again, and learn why are we failing? What is not correct? What have I done incorrectly this time? And keep making those small improvements each time. And that is what is going to, those small changes on a daily basis is what will accrue in a huge way. Another important thing is to do things in smaller chunks. 2 shlokas a day, 1 shloka a day, 2 shlokas a day is all you need to learn or read or do manan or think about. Write 1 page of journal, do 10 minutes of or 5 minutes of meditation, or do like 15 minutes of exercise. You want to go running, don't like aim for a 5 kilometer, 6 kilometer, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers a run, that's it. But do it daily, consistently. Atomic habits. You build them up to create outsized results rather than doing 45-minute exercise or meditation on a weekend.
Hi, Tuhina.
Hi.
So sorry, I couldn't on the video. I heard you, but I was on the call, so I just finished it with my daughter's teacher.
No,
Sorry about it.
No worries at all. So I don't know what's the answer. Like, do we start with chapter 7? We have 20 minutes. Or do you want to stay with what we have done and start chapter 7 next class?
If Kavita can probably do a meditative session now, we can probably conclude with it and then start with the next chapter next. Up to Kavita now.
Kavita, you've been put on spot one more time.
Of course, brother is for that, right?
It is my pleasure, totally. So I heard you were explaining it so well about all the meditation, the contemplative meditation and concentrative meditation and all those things. And my favorite basically is this contemplative meditation. I do a lot. And also I try to do concentration meditation. As you said, it is a kind of a bit difficult to focus on the void and all. Yeah. So I can take you through a very simple, small meditation session where we can do the contemplation of the divine quality of God. Okay, are we ready? So, because I do Kriya Yoga, so I follow Paramahansa Yogananda ji's thing. And what he says is the meditation, which actually needs the complete relaxation, is the first point of relaxation, meditation. So we have to just relax our body totally and focus the mind. Okay, so what we are going to do is just focus on the breathing a little bit. Keep your body, I'll take you through the words and just be relaxed and then focus on one divine quality of God, which is peace. Okay, are we ready? Okay. Sit with your back straight, shoulder completely relaxed. Let us focus on the breathing. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Let us have the intention of being in the present moment and enjoy that moment. And with that intention, we feel that we and our breath only exist at this moment. At this moment, there is nothing to think about, nothing to know about, nothing to learn about, or nothing to worry about. This is our time just to completely let go of everything and relax. With that feeling, slowly, gently, take your awareness to your toes and relax your toes. Relax your feet. Relax your ankle joints, calf muscles. Relax your knees. Relax your thighs. And relax your waist region. Just completely relax your lower part of the body. Take a deep breath in and breathe out and enjoy that relaxation. Now slowly move your awareness to your abdomen. Feel the movement of the breath in your abdomen. Feel the abdomen raises when the breath goes in and how the abdomen relaxes when the breath goes out. And relax your abdomen. Relax your stomach. Relax your chest. Completely relax. Release all the stress from your shoulders and relax your shoulders. Relax your arms, your bicep, triceps. Relax your palms and relax your fingers one by one. Totally relax. Enjoy that beautiful relaxation in the middle portion of the body. Take a deep breath in and breathe out and relax more and more. Now gently take your awareness to your neck. Relax your neck completely. Relax your jaw. Release all the stress from the jaw and relax it. Relax your chin. Relax your upper lip, lower lip, upper teeth, lower teeth, and relax and collapse your tongue. Relax your cheeks and have a beautiful smile on your cheeks. Relax your ears. And gently take your awareness to your nostrils. Feel that cool air which is going in and warm air which is coming out of the nostrils. And relax your nostrils, completely relax it. Relax your eyebrows, eyelids, eyelashes. Feel the heaviness of the eyeballs and relax your eyeballs. Completely relax. Relax your forehead, temple muscles. Relax in between your eyebrows. Totally, completely relax. Relax your entire head region. Front of the head, back of the head, sides of the head, and crown of the head. Totally, completely let go and relax. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Gently scan your body from the toes to the top. If there is any stress anywhere, gently relax and release. And just enjoy this moment of relaxation. Body, mind, and the breath completely relaxed. Now slowly, gently, take your awareness in between your eyebrows. The point in between your eyebrows is where the self resides. Just focus there. The self is a part of God. It is pure and it is joy. It is divine. It is peace. Just focus on the self. We are going to take the divine quality peace. Just focus on the peace of the divine. Feel the peace from the point in between your eyebrows. Start spreading to the brain. And slowly it covers up the entire body. Feel the peace in your heart. Let us produce the sound of Om. One more time. Take a deep breath in. And relax and feel that beautiful relaxation and the peace in your heart, in your breath, and in your body. With that peacefulness and with that calmness, bring your palms together in front of the heart chakra and rub your palms together. Reduce the heat in the palms and keep it on your eyes. Feel the heat around the eyes. Keep the palms on your cheeks. Massage your ears. Press your shoulders, arms, and give yourself a big hug. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kavita. That was beautiful.
Thank you. You know, actually, my computer Zoom kicked me out. I didn't know when I came out because I was also meditating. Then I suddenly opened my eyes. I saw that, like, it kicked me out. Then again, I rejoined in the phone. I don't know where it got cut off. Sorry about it.
No worries. None of us realized actually.
No, yeah, this is very crucial. You will have to come back. You made us relax so much. Otherwise, it won't wake up again. It will become like a movie comedy or something like that. Everyone will be relaxing and not doing anything thereafter.
Thank you, everybody. Like, I hope you all enjoyed the session.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kavita.
Right. So, shall we do